For most cars, you can expect to pay around $25 to $30 for a full tank.
Wait. Am I understanding this correct? $25 full tank? My friends here, I pay like $80. What's up, my friend? Today I'll be reacting to things every travel should know before visiting the US. Look, I'm coming to America this year, my friends. I cannot wait to be honest with you. But I really wonder what those things are, and they may be important for my experience in America. So I guess we shall see. Before I go into that, let me ask you for one thing. If you can leave a like, thank you so much. Is the best way to show support. Now, if you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You made my day. Have that in consideration. Link for the original video in my description, and let's play it.
Hi there, it's Ernest from
Hey.
Trip Astute. In this video, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to cover the quirky and important aspects of US life that visitors
Okay.
should know when visiting the
Beautiful
States.
America. Oh, friends, I'm coming to America between September and October. Time flies, I know, but
A few months ago, we did a video on what I noticed when I traveled to England. It was meant to be a fun and lighthearted video. Oddly enough though, the video got a lot of attention and as of today has over 400,000 views. The video
it's kind of crazy. People really love this type of content. Culture shock stuff that does very well here on YouTube.
seems to be trending in the UK, so we had a lot of folks chime in on their thoughts. A lot of people shared their experience in the US and some of the confusing aspects of our life and culture. So today, I wanted to cover some of the biggest and most significant differences, especially those that could really affect your experience while here. While many of you in the US might not think that any of these things are unique, I still think it's useful to be mindful of them, especially when you have family and friends visiting from abroad.
Okay.
And for those of you who are watching from outside of the US, particularly our new subscribers from the UK, I hope this list is not only entertaining, but also useful. I really tried to focus on differences and tips that might save you time and keep you safe while visiting the States.
Okay.
Lastly, before I run through the list, keep in mind that I'm intentionally ignoring politics and guns. While these are very stark and unique aspects of US culture, I'm really trying to avoid political debates on this channel. So before
I mean, totally fair, of course. The thing about guns, and this is real talk, my friends, no matter what other people tell you, this is the biggest culture shock for most Europeans. The reason is they are illegal in most countries, and a lot of Europeans, me included, I never even touch it again, you know. So, of course, when I see people in America having fun with guns, that's a bit odd to me. But in other end, when I'm visiting America, I respect a lot your culture, and I want to shoot some guns. So take things with a grain of salt when I talk about this. At the end of the day, if it works for you, my friends, for me it's amazing. Actually, like I said, I want to try to shoot some guns.
before you comment on our president or guns, just know I totally get it, but this is not where I want to have
That's
this
fair.
discussion. So, with that out of the way, let's go through the list.
Okay.
Number one, paying for gas.
Paying
if
for
you're visiting
gas.
the US, you'll notice that most gas stations will require you to pay for fuel in advance before you start pumping. Most
Okay, my friends, this is the same thing here. All of a sudden, I was like, what the hell is that different when it comes to, to gas in America? No, this is common here.
Americans will
I guess maybe not that common in the UK, could be that, but here in Portugal is very common.
require you to pay for fuel in advance before you start pumping. Most Americans will simply swipe their credit card, which then puts a hold on their account until they're done fueling. This can be a big problem for international visitors as the
Why?
pumps are often not able to process a hold or verify their credit card, especially since the US is a bit behind on their payment
okay.
technology. If you're faced with having to pay for gas or petrol, as the rest of the world knows it, you probably need to pay the attendant cash. For most cars, you can expect to pay around $25 to $30 for a full tank.
Wait. Am I understanding this correct? $25 full tank? My friends here, I pay like $80. I'm trying to make the conversion between euros and USD, but let's say $70, $80, you know. Oh my, okay, I'm going to drive a Mustang or a Camaro. I guess the gas price is not that crazy, specific for the things I tend to deal with. Holy.
If you end up filling up less,
Actually, sorry, this video is a bit older. But is this still, is the price still similar? Don't tell me nowadays it's like $50 or $80 like it is here.
then just ask for change from the attendant once you're done pumping. As a bonus tip,
Damn, $25 per tank? My friends, this price was like 20 years ago.
then just ask for change from the attendant once you're done pumping.
Crazy.
As a bonus tip, keep in mind that in the US, the black pump is usually designated as regular unleaded fuel. Green pumps are usually diesel, which is not as
Okay, that's totally the opposite here. Green, black is always diesel, you know. Green is unleaded, you know.
common in the US.
Sorry, it's that's crazy actually.
Regular unleaded fuel. Green pumps are usually diesel, which is not as common in the US as it is in the rest of the world. Number 2, stay in your car when being pulled over by the police.
Okay, this tip, and now I'm being serious, my friends. Thank God I saw this in multiple videos because there was a chance that if for some reason cops stop me in America, that I will be out of the car immediately because I don't think that's something bad here, you know. But in America, I guess is very different.
This one is extremely important.
Actually, I want to correct myself. It's also common here for you to stay inside of the car. But it's not as problematic if you actually come over and talk with the cop. But this is different in America, from what I understand, my friends.
Your car when being pulled over
I guess
by
you
the
guys
police.
know.
This one is extremely important to know if you're visiting the US. If you're driving and you get pulled over by the police, you'll want to remain in your car and keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Oh, really?
You do not want to get out of your vehicle.
I actually didn't know about this, so I also have to have the hands on the wheel?
While that may be the normal process outside the US, doing so will likely result in the police feeling threatened and potentially drawing their weapons. The normal procedure in the US is to pull over to the side of the road and turn off your engine. You'll want to roll down your driver's side window and keep your hands on your steering wheel. The police will usually ask for your driver's license and vehicle registration, though I wouldn't start looking for it until the police ask for it. I don't mean to scare people.
Damn, it's kind of crazy how different this is. Wow.
As this is such a common scenario in the US, but it's an easy way to startle the police, especially if you exit the car and walk toward the officer. Number 3, turning.
Yo, but cops in America, they don't play, from what I understand. Most cops are amazing. I mean, I see a lot of cop content on YouTube, and most of the cop content on YouTube comes from America, and they are super professional, but they don't play. Turning right on the red light. This one again, I'm also aware of this. I saw other video talking about. At first, this was so confusing to me, but now I understand it a bit better.
Turning right on the red light. This is one that seems to disturb a lot of people when they visit the US, even though I think most Americans find it to be very convenient and useful.
Oh,
if
it's
you're
great.
in an intersection and you want to turn right, you can do so on the red light if there is no pedestrian crossing at the time, no cars coming.
So the first time people explained this to me, I was like, this makes no sense. But the more that I saw other people talking about this and giving even a better explanations, I thought, no, this actually makes a lot of sense. There isn't, why should you stop there when you can do this, and makes the traffic be a bit more, be better, basically.
Toward your direction, and no signs saying that the right turn is prohibited on the red light. If you find yourself in this situation, you'll want to stop at the intersection first and allow any pedestrians to pass. Then you can slowly move forward into the crosswalk and turn right when it's clear and safe. Just be careful of folks who ignore the crosswalk signal and try to cross the street at the last second. On that note, number 4, avoid jaywalking. The US has laws against jaywalking, which is basically
Jaywalking means crossing the road, but not in a crosswalk, right?
disregarding the law and crossing the street outside of the crosswalk or when the crossing signal is red. This is only enforced on busy roads. It's meant to keep
I'm gonna be honest, my friends, in my city, people do this like crazy and pisses me off. People don't respect the. So if in America you guys are strict about this, I'm with you.
crossing signal is red. This is only enforced on busy roads. It's meant to keep people from crossing streets where they can get hit by cars and cause disruptions to the flow of traffic. I know it's very annoying, even for Americans, but it's something to be aware of when you want to cross the street. Also, police officers
You guys, I guess you guys will disagree with me because seems like some Americans don't like this, but I like it. I think you should cross the road on the crosswalk. That's it. Don't. I'm with the law here.
will often just wait around busy streets to catch people jaywalking, so be careful when you're walking around high traffic areas. Number 5, tipping. The tipping culture
Ooh, the controversial one. My friends, I know 15% to whatever you feel like, but at least 15% is the minimum nowadays.
in the US
People told
is
me this.
very excessive and is confusing even to us Americans. While it's customary to tip servers 15 to 20% at
See, I knew it.
restaurants and bars,
10%? No. That's the old days. Now we go to 20% sometimes.
While it's customary to tip servers 15 to 20% at restaurants and bars, it's often unclear in other scenarios like valet parking, hotels, and cafes. For example, Fiona recently told me that she struggled with determining the amount to tip when visiting a hair salon. In these cases,
Okay, my friends, please confirm one thing in the comment section because people told me this, but I also saw different information the other day, and I don't know what to believe at this point. If I go, for example, I never went to the places you guys have in America, like Five Guys, Wendy's, all of those fast food chains that are very American. But let's say I go to Wendy's. I have to tip there or not? Or if I eat in the restaurant, do I have to tip there? Maybe yes, right? But if I take the food home, maybe not. Am I into something here, or you always have to tip? I don't get that very well. I know in the normal restaurants, let's say, you have to tip, but in fast food, some people told me that is not necessary, but I'm not sure, of course.
struggled with determining the amount to tip when visiting a hair salon. In these cases, we usually default to 15 to 20%, but only if you are happy with the service. Also,
Okay.
keep in mind that servers at restaurants and bars typically make less than minimum wage in the US. That means that the tip is a major component of their wages. While I personally think that they should get paid more, just know that we often see tipping in restaurants to be mandatory unless the service was not up to standards. Number 6, stop signs. A lot of visitors have complained that they often don't know how to deal with multiple cars arriving at a stop sign at once. The official rule is that the person to the right has the right of way, though it can be messy when it's not clear who is to the right. My suggestion is to be defensive and move slowly through the stop sign. It's not worth fighting over the right of way, especially when we're talking about a few seconds of time. Number 7, sales tax.
See, driving in America, is kind of different at the end of the day. I can only imagine how different it is for the British people since they have the wheel in the other side. But even for me, it's something that I'm a bit concerned. I know it will be easy. Don't get me wrong, but there is a couple of things you really have to pay attention.
Way, especially when we're talking about a few seconds of time. Number 7, sales tax. One thing that a lot of visitors find confusing is our sales tax. When buying an item at a store,
I don't find this confusing at all. I actually like that you guys know how much the government is taking from you. I wish they did the same here because a lot of people assume the price they pay is the price that the thing costs when at the end of the day it's not. The trick that the government does in a lot of countries, just to be honest with you, the thing I don't like now is that I wish there was a standard percentage all across America. That way it will be much easier. Because let's say I visit 3 states. I have to know. And okay, even another question. For example, Texas is so big. Can the sale tax be different from county to county, or am I saying some super stupid right now? Maybe the state controls everything. You know what I'm trying to say, because sometimes there is this weird rules in America.
You're almost always going to pay more than the label price. Since sales tax is different in every state and county, we added to the price
See?
at the register. It's something that we're used to as Americans, but I can understand how it's confusing to others. Just know that you'll likely have to pay up to 10% more than the sticker price, depending on where you're visiting. And finally,
No, but it's not 10% more. Some people told me that there is states that is like 20%. So, you know what I mean? It's 10% is one thing, 20% is another thing. And there is states that, I think there is states that have no tax, right?
number 8, showing your ID. This one drives Americans insane too. In most restaurants and bars, you'll need to show your ID even if you're obviously over the drinking age of 21. It's mostly a liability issue in that most restaurants and bars don't want to be sued or found accountable for serving alcohol to minors, or even perceived as singling out people based on age. This can lead to some very annoying and frustrating situations. I've even seen elderly people being asked to show their ID, which is just ridiculous. So, if you're planning to have a drink in the US, make sure you're carrying some form of ID that shows your birthday. Even if you're obviously over the age of 21, it's possible that you'll need to prove it in order to have a drink or to even enter a bar.
Okay, anyone over, let's say, 40 or 50 watching right now ever end up getting asked for the ID at that specific age, over 40 or 50? If so, leave me a comment, my friend. I would love to know to know your story.
There are a ton of smaller things that are on my list, and I'll cover them in another video.
Big
But these are the
boy.
ones that I think can really affect someone's experience or cause confusion when visiting the US, so I wanted to focus on them. For those of you in the US, do you have any other tips for visitors? Or if you visited the US from abroad, are there any other items that you think should be included in the list? Let us know in the comments section below. We hope you enjoyed this video.
That's a great question. I mean, from what I've been learning about America, I think this video was pretty good. End up touching a lot of the things that I think people need to know. I would say that something I realize is as long as you respect American culture, you probably will have a great time, right?
And found it useful? If so, please consider giving us a thumbs up and sharing our video with others that might also benefit or enjoy our content. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of June, and we would appreciate your help getting there. More importantly, we love hearing from folks that our videos are helpful. So if you know of anyone that might benefit from our content, we would love to see it shared with others.
My friend, I'm doing that. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this with me. This video, is a really interesting title also. 22 normal things in the US that are weird to everyone else. You know what, my friends? Number 10. No, actually, number 22 in the comment section if you guys want me to react to this one. Because 22 things, that's a lot of things. That said, thank you so much for watching this with me, my friends. Really means a lot. You guys end up staying until the end. And see you guys in the next one. Actually, tell me if you agree with the list. But see you guys in the next one. Bye, my friends.